as him. I'm not the expert, but our guests, don't go away. Leave that microphone open, Boaz, because we'll let Charlie talk directly to Esther Perel. She is and I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. She is a couples and family therapist with a private practice in New York City, where she lives with her husband and 2 children. She is one of the world's most respected voices on erotic intelligence. She offers a bold and provocative new take on intimacy and sex. Her book, Mating in Activity, is an international bestseller and invites couples to explore the paradoxical union of domestic life and sexual desire. And she explains what it takes to bring lust home. Esther Perel, I welcome you to News Talk Online on paltalk.com.
Hello.
Oh, so we were getting the fires burning, kind of intellectual foreplay for your appearance here while we were waiting for you to join us. And we were letting people offer their observations about this issue, long-time commitment, and what you need to do to keep the fires burning after being married or involved in some kind of a long-term relationship. And I think you got on just in time to hear Charlie from Tennessee actually parrot what one of the earlier callers said. She says that after 5 years, that she's not able to initiate sex. Only her husband can, and they were kind of going at each other early in their relationship, but they aren't any longer. I presume that in your practice you hear this, and I presume that as well from the reading of your book, that you hear this problem articulated in one form or another over and over again.
And did she explain why she would not initiate? Lack of interest? Fear?
I think she said, and Charlie, come back up to the microphone if you like, that it was that her husband actually kind of puts off her advances. Charlie?
Yeah, I'm here. I did kind of explain. I didn't really go into great detail because it is a G-rated room. But the problem seems to be stress, I think. I think that it's mostly related to that, at least. A while back, I didn't have a job. And he said that, of course, our sex life would get better when I started pulling my own weight. And that's fine. I have a job now. It has not changed much at all, though. I tend to think that's more of just an excuse then after that. I've asked him to maybe go to a doctor and see if there's something clinical wrong with him. But there's so many times, it used to be at least once a week, and now it's maybe once every 3 weeks that we have sex, and it bothers me so much.
But
the do-it-yourself
I barely hear
is
you.
not much fun.
There's a way for you to speak a little louder, please.
So I think what she's saying, Esther Perel.
I heard it.
Go ahead, speak up, Charlie. Speak up for Esther Perel, please. Poor gal, she has to go through it again. Perel?
No, I heard it. Heard it. Esther Perel heard it well. The thing is this, that I think that this lady is hinting at. First of all, the fact that, we take it very for granted sometimes that the lack of desire is often on the woman's side. And the lack of desire on the man's side is the big silence, of course. And it often is not a medical question. It is really the question sometimes that Mating in Captivity tries to understand. Why is it so difficult to sustain desire over the long haul? Why is it that some people find it hard to make love with the person they love? Because, if it was for people who don't get along and don't want to touch each other anymore, it would be easy. There wouldn't have been a book to write. But Mating in Captivity came out of my experience for more than 20 years working with couples who come in saying, we love each other very much, we have no sex. We have a good intimacy, we have no desire. And I began to think that sometimes it's not the lack of closeness that stifles desire, but maybe sometimes too much closeness. That when you love for somebody, you care about them, you worry about them, you want to protect them, you feel responsible. And all those feelings that nurture love are not necessarily the ones that fuel desire. Eroticism is based on a lot more novelty, mystery, the unknown, the unexpected, the unpredictable, the very kind of stuff that we don't want in our relationships. So the question to this man is, we keep talking about no desire, and sometimes I want to add for each other, because people continue to have a sexuality and they often have a lot of desire. They just don't know how to bring lust home. They don't have it for the person that they're closest with. They have it in their feverish imagination, online, wherever you want, but not with the person that is right next to them. Maybe because it's hard to want what we already have. Maybe because, it's not so much the stress as the fear factor. How do I continue to bring that other part of me that is part of sexuality, that is often more selfish, to this very person that I care about so much? And that's the paradox that often doesn't get addressed.
One of the things, did you say you pronounce your last name Perel?
Yes, Esther Perel.
Okay, I'm sorry, Esther Perel, and I apologize for that. You probably get that a lot, though. So,
yes, it's okay.
Yes, well, I have trouble getting my name pronounced properly as well for obvious reasons. They always want to change it for some reason from Baumgarten to Baumgartner. I don't know why. There's no NER at the end, but okay, whatever. I'm used to it already. So as a result of that, I'm a little sensitive to that, so I apologize. But one of the things that you just said, and it resonates throughout your book as a recurring theme, is that when we are in a relationship, we want that relationship, and I'm not talking about the sexual part of the relationship, we want that relationship to be comfortable. We want to feel like it's a safe, almost cocoon when we come back home and we are with our significant other. And so I guess the excitement that you desire in your sexuality goes against that. So you have to reconcile the two desires. Is that pretty much, do I get it right?
Yes, there is a way. Yes, I think it's reconciling the erotic and the domestic, if you want, or reconciling love and desire, is about bringing together two fundamental human needs, but they are actually quite different. Our need for security and for safety and predictability that propel us into committed relationships in the first place, and our need for adventure and novelty and mystery and even risk. And they go in different directions. When you create a comfortable home, you want it to be cozy, you don't want it to have tension, and it's the handmaidens of a harmonious relationship. And desire needs a little bit more tension. That's why best friends get along wonderful, but they often don't have an edge. They don't have an erotic spark, because excitement goes a little bit with uncertainty, and we don't want that uncertainty in the comfort of our stable relationship. Desire goes with the unknown, and the unknown makes us anxious. Of course, it's what made us meet our partner in the first place. But once we are together for a while, we no longer want surprises and the unknown, and then we prefer to complain about erotic boredom. And so it's really the people, in some way, if you ask who are the people who have a spark, it's those people who are able to introduce a little bit of uncertainty in the midst of their comfortable homes. A little bit of edge in the midst of the comfortable sofa. In that play is what's at stake in erotic intelligence. You don't want to do away with this comfort and this coziness and this warmth, but you also would like every once in a while to have a little bit of heat. And heat takes risks. So I think that stress is a factor, as Charlie says, or being tired or being busy, but the truth is that people are often not less busy when they fall in love, and then certainly not less stressed when they manage an affair. So maybe it's fear of bringing that part of ourselves into, fear of taking risks.